Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM20 Career Episode 149. We're back with the Giro. It's Stage 15. Of course, we do have the lead currently, and it's relatively healthy with Pavel Rodriguez. Now, today's stage is a punchy one, but it's been completely flat up until now, and the field has not been interested. They would have allowed a massive breakaway to ensue and to claim 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. But as leaders, it was up to us to keep it in check today, and so we did. Jorgensen, Gazzoli did the heavy lifting, and now Mitchelton Scott finally in the last 30K contributed ever so slightly to the chase, and then have really started to pick that up now that we're climbing. They seem to be interested in what's going on. We've used up those two riders, and of course David Killen is now also somebody who has, well, a -5 today. In terms of race day condition, he is virtually all of our -6 net, and otherwise we're okay. Rodriguez is on a 0, so it's all good. I couldn't care less what happens on this stage as long as it's still together. As long as we don't lose time. This is not a day to really gain anything. There's a punchy little finish at the end, and if we can, and if we have the setup, we'll make a run at it and go for the stage that way. But I really don't expect anything. Only two riders out the back. Jorgensen is one of them. Expect that Gazzoli's going to be out the back quite soon. We're starting to bring in the first breakaway riders. I pulled it back from 10 minutes to 3.5, very gradually over 150 kilometers. Gazzoli's gone. Looks like Killen's about to be gone. He never even actually got to the front. That's just the poor race day condition doing the dirty work on that one. 1K from the top here of really the only climb, because the secondary climb, it's just a saddle. We go down and we go right back up. Slight recovery, but it's not a lot of climbing, and it's not as steep for the secondary part, and then there is plenty of time to recover and set up a run in for the finish that is going to be quite easy. And you never know, we might be able to do something with that, because those short little downhill finishes, positioning is very key. Alright, 125 riders. Killen didn't even get dropped as we go through here. We're going to speed things up for a bit. Like I said, this is the day where I don't expect fireworks. Breakaway itself still has 4.5 minutes, actually bigger than what it was, so those guys pulled out a little bit of time. Ciccone is the leader of that group at 26 minutes down, so really not a big deal if they hang on and take the stage. That actually would make it easier to potentially catch out one or two riders and steal some time in those final kilometers with that punchy little finish there. And yes, we are lifting. It's back out to 7 minutes. So it's back out to 7 minutes. That has sealed the fate. They are going to win the stage. Let's go ahead and do something here. That something being Killen is too far back. So why don't you protect Rodriguez and Johnson and start putting in a little bit of work. I don't want them to pick up too much time to suddenly allow Ciccone to get back into this thing. So
victory seems assured for the breakaway.
Approaching the top. There we go. We don't drop any riders. That's not a surprise.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway.
Oh, we dropped one. Single rider fell off the back.
Left behind goes on rising. The finish line is getting close. The riders have just
21 kilometers to the finish, and we're going to knock out 5 of those super fast. Oh, Bernal! Bernal has crashed out on this descent, even though we're not even pushing. Bernal has crashed out. Not necessarily out of the race, but that could cost him. I'm not sure if he's going to get back on after that. A few riders that slipped off the back a moment ago are back in contention. I'm not doing anything extra here. but I think we are going to have to try to do something over these last 13 kilometers. This was planned all along, so I'm really sorry, Bernal, if you lose out because of this. It's not terribly sporting. Oh, Moreau. Let's get you in the line right there. And Killen. I'm guessing Bernal is in the group chasing. No, he's back in Gazzoli's group. He's left it behind, but he's a minute and a half back.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just
This was always intended. We're not trying to take advantage. I want to catch somebody out on that last little punchy climb there towards the finish, not because Bernal crashed. But it is what it is, and you got to deal with what you have. By the way, beginning tomorrow on Zwift for the next few episodes. I know that's Zwift's not for everyone. It's a smaller audience, but I'm going to be doing a special series over the next few weeks. And Giulio Ciccone has claimed the victory as we now have just 5K to go. Oh, there's a little cobbled section. Not aware of that, but okay. Johnson making that push for the end. Now 4K. We're going to get that little downhill run out. Go over the top and then attack. It's up to 151 riders, so I believe they've technically gotten back on. But we've opened a slight gap here, potentially. 1.7K. Moreau's supposed to be sprinting already. 1K. Rodriguez for the line. 5 riders with a little bit of a gap. Let's see if any gaps are actually given. It's technically a punchy stage, so it could happen. So Moreau, Yermakov, Rodriguez, Mater, Johnson, and then it's fairly close. I don't know if any gaps will actually be given. There's gaps. There are gaps right there. I could see something happening with that. You can see Ineos very much towards the back end, trying to do some work for their man. We'll see what type of times are given there. I think Bernal might be the only one who's been caught out, and maybe there we actually gain some time on lots of people if that first 5 have some sort of gap. Ciccone claims the easy victory, though, as the only strong rider that was in the break. The only one who was within an hour, I think. Oh, wow, he won by 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Same time, we don't get a gap after the first 5. Thought we might. Do we get any gaps at all? We were at 7:06 down. No gaps. Wow, they just lumped it all together, even though it was spread out, and there was 40, 50. Well, okay, no, it was not 40 to 50 bike lengths, but there was more than 10 bike lengths between riders quite a few times. Very, very surprised that literally no gaps were given at all. Gazzoli was dropped long before, and he was well back. I mean, he finished 5-6 minutes behind Moreau. So I did say there was nothing to really gain on this stage, so there you go. We join at the halfway point on stage 16. We're down to 54 in the Peloton already, just through the first climb of the day. 2 climbs to go, including an Allscat. Passo dello Stelvio is the next one. We'll see just how bad it is in a moment. Jorgensen, Gazzoli already out the back. Gazzoli did some of the chasing up the first climb, and that's why he is very much already 11 minutes behind. Gap to the break is just 3 minutes. That is something we do need to keep a better eye on today, as there are a number of riders in the teens in the standings, which are somewhere between 18 minutes and just 9 minutes behind overall. You see the pace has lifted. Other teams are doing the chasing at this point, and I'd like it to stay that way, but we do need to keep an eye out and make sure that the gap doesn't start to blow up too fast like it did on the previous climb, and then we'll have to send somebody forward and take over. Recovery never really happened on that descent. It was a hard downhill tempo that was being set by the couple teams that were pushing tempo for the day. Ineos is the ones doing it now. They were not the ones doing it earlier, but they are now. Moreau's already been dropped, and we're down to 43 riders. This has happened very quickly. David Killen's about to get dropped. But we can also see Moscon, Gilkinson, Dunbar, Kung, Gin are gone. Fuka is gone. There is Ciccone, yesterday's stage winner, who's up to 21st overall, and we're already at just 34 riders. Bernal is dead last in the peloton at the moment. Surprising place for him to be. Dangerous place. We have lost protection on Rodriguez, who's doing just fine, by the way. Millar needs to get up behind Rodriguez, please. And you're going to have to take over protecting him quite soon. We're down to just 3 guys. Team not having a great day on race day condition, but Rodriguez is doing okay. He's got that +2. And with such a small peloton at this point, I mean, we're only halfway through this 21-kilometer climb, 7%. That's a pretty big climb. And then there's still one big climb to go after that. 24 riders, and we're down to just 6 ahead of us. Johnson's been dropped. Let's see who is with him. Vingegaard, Formulo. Rivera has been dropped already. Pogačar has been dropped. 15th, 18th. I mean, this is not their race, but still, I mean, key. Sivakov has been dropped. The 10th place rider is out. And you can see he's got help. Roglic working for him. Here's the back end of it. Murakami is dropped. Barrow is dropped. 19 riders left. Millar is not going to be able to provide any support for Rodriguez. I'm going to go ahead and put you on
A rider has just suffered a puncture.
protect for a second. 20 riders left in the peloton is all. 5. Dang, Ineos still have 3 riders left. All those huge names that have gone out the back, and they still have 3 riders. Bernal obviously has made his way to the front of this group. Millar so far, tempo-wise, is doing okay. Liking this spot a little bit because I can see what's going on. Front group is falling apart. This was very unexpected. Ineos really turning the screw today. They have isolated Rodriguez, who can really back off at this point.
This climb features some
I could almost
percentages.
attack with Rodriguez before the top and have a smaller group, which might be a better thing. 6K to go. Millar still here. Couple EF riders. I'm definitely thinking about trying to make a move here before the top, because guaranteed a lot of these guys are really struggling. Lopez also is really struggling. Sorry, Bernal. Look how poorly all 3 of them are doing with 4K to go. Goodbye, Peloton. Okay, we've opened a gap.
Riders are trying to get clear of the bunch.
3.4K. Oh, Bardet just slammed into me. Are you kidding me? That was terrible. Bardet just destroyed our progress, blocked us right into the edge of the road. 2K to go. Still have some energy here to keep pressure on. Now 13 riders. Finally it pays off as we drop some guys. 12 riders. See what kind of help and support we get as we go over the top, but we might as well do what we can here to limit what's going to happen. Now, I do expect that quite a bit of this is going to come back together again on the descent and in the prep for the Cat 1 at the end. All right, so we sit up and let's do that check-in. For one thing, Millar, you need to be going max here for a second. Okay, he is with Barrow. There's Conchi, Andrade, Bardet, Bernal. The 7th place rider out the back. Martinez, who's only 16th, by the way. Lopez. Fernandez. We did isolate the Ineos riders.
So they've got to make sure to keep warm.
Yates is still here. Uman is here. He's only in 9th place, though. Safanov is 11th. Hamilton's somehow still here. I'm telling you, he has got to be having +4s, +5s every day, +3 minimum every day to be hanging in like this. He is the rider who is fit and on an objective. Pallison 5th is here. Saseda is here. Hagita, Trentadue, Carapaz apparently is now the hope for Ineos, even though he's not a good time trialist. He's the man they are riding for. McNulty is still here, so the main contenders are still around, but we have dropped some key riders with that little effort before the top, and I'm recovering quite quickly. We have 77 kilometers still to go. This thing is far from over. Let's get water while it's a small group. There we go. That takes care of that. We'll scoot back towards the front. Slowly but surely, nice and easy, and already fully recovered. And still in really good shape. I mean, he has not burnt much energy. Look at Millar, who's just coming back, and Millar is not in the closest chase group. He's in group A4. He is way too far behind, over 3 minutes back. So this actually is going to be it. Now, this group behind us that might catch up. Let's see. Who is there? Lopez chasing hard. Bardet, Fernandez, Bernal. That's not a good sign that you have, well, Bernal for one thing. Bernal's a bigger threat than Carapaz. He's a better time trialist, and they have same climbing abilities. The only difference was one position, a few seconds between them. Lopez, that's a threat. That's a problem if those guys make it back up.
We're into the downhill section.
But I am so not wanting to contribute right now. Down to 2 riders off the front. We did pull back 1 breakaway rider. That's Bookman. That was the one that was the highest ranked. He's at 926. And Hickey. That's opened up a little bit, but not much. It's at 1:30. Those two came back together. Looks like there's only a couple riders here. And it's still considered a Peloton, so we're not even in the breakaway group establishment at this point with 14, so that's good. Up to 21. Millar is 2.5 minutes back, though. Those Ineos guys have made contact. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Okay, go easy. And we're seeing an attack, really?
There's a breakaway.
McNulty and Yermakov are going for it, so we've got to go too. And they sit up, and we covered it off.
Counter-attack by Uman.
Now we've got to pick and choose who we respond to if there's an attack, and let the others respond. This is the scary thing about being the leader. It's stage 16. There's not much left to go in this tour. We have bonuses for recon on stages 17, 19, and 20. 21's the time trial, where we have the greatest advantage. This and 18 are the last 2 stages I really need to worry about at least a little bit. And today is one of those worrying days. We're down to 20 riders in the group, so it's actually a little smaller. Holding it 1.5 minutes on those front guys. Hagita doing all the hard work. That's nice. That's going to wear him out. Ineos should be doing... Carapaz is doing the hard work. Now he's getting support from Lopez. And Saseda does not worry me in the slightest. That's not somebody I need to worry about if he's going to attack. Alright, we are on to the base of the actual climb, and here comes the move from Carapaz and McNulty. We go with.
It's survival of the fittest,
and we've left the group behind.
Come
on, Rodriguez. You actually have some sprint. How are they opening a gap on you? The acceleration is what opened the gap, apparently. Now there's only 4 of us chasing those 2. Uman, Bernal, Hagita have made it with me.
Are very high.
I will, for now, let them do the work. Now that it's back together, what do we have going on here? Okay, we have guys interested in chasing that, so that's good. I'm trying to conserve some energy here. We still have 12.5K to go to the top. And they are really pushing. 4 riders at the front, and now coming back together, 18 riders. McNulty and Yermakov both on the attack again. How are they doing this? How are they? They've got to be on the limit. We were at full energy a moment ago. No. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Bernal going for it. Paulus. Where are they getting this energy from? We're on a +2 race day condition, and we were in perfect shape 3 kilometers ago. 3 kilometers ago, and we have not done anything rash, yet we have seen heavy attacks from multiple riders, and look how little energy we have. I have done nothing drastic, and yet I've barely got anything left. I don't see how anybody has been able to do what they're doing. And look, we're about to crash. I mean, we're completely out of energy here. Carapaz just attacks right off the front. We're 82 resistance, and we have got nothing on those moves. Hello, extreme difficulty. You've got to be kidding me. We did not do anything crazy in this stage. I mean, we made that little attack before the previous climb, but we were in great shape just at the base of this 16-kilometer climb. And yet here we are with no energy and getting our butt literally handed to us. 85 mountain rating, and we are being outclimbed by everybody, even though I get that I'm the leader and that they're going to attack, and that it's going to be problematic for us at times trying to defend that, but what we're seeing is absolutely insane. 2.5 minute gap. We need to catch Hamilton. 79 mountain is climbing faster than I am. I can't bridge the gap. And my heart rate was just fine, so very confused how he opened a gap on us before the top of that climb. Wow. Come on. You gotta get a little recovery in. Just a little. There you go.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
75 downhill. Okay. Try to close this down. It's downhill all the way, so just go on the attack. 2 minutes and 42 seconds to whoever's at the front. We can at least make up the time on Hamilton. Now remember, we still have the advantage of the time trial to come. We've made it to Uman and Hamilton. Paulus and Carapaz at the top. McNulty and Yermakov were just behind it. Come on, come on, come on.
The tail enders are still coming in.
Wow. Dumbfounded on that one. But that's extreme difficulty. Rodriguez was in good shape. Good race day condition. And they attacked. You know what happens when you attack. How quickly it deteriorates your energy. Yet they didn't escape. We were right there. And yet our energy disappeared. And they all rode off into the distance. That's insane. But that is also exactly what happens on the hardest difficulty levels. There was no reason that they should have been able to attack and rinse and repeat and attack some more and attack some more. I didn't freak out. I didn't try to overly respond and, wow, dang. And none of those riders had, anyone protecting them or anything, giving them any sort of extra. That shouldn't be like that, but that's the hardest difficulty level for you. We definitely lost some time today. I think we might have lost the jersey, which is almost a good thing. Almost. It takes the pressure off of us, right? They're not all attacking us. We can turn that around on them. And the good news is those guys aren't the greatest time trialists. We're a much better time trialist than the majority of them. So we will make up time on 21, but I did not expect to lose that kind of time today. I knew it was a big stage, but ouch. Jeez. We were in a strong position at the base of that climb, and nothing they did caught us off guard other than the fact that our energy just went away and theirs didn't.
And here are a few of the key moments.
Okay, 2.5 minutes to Palace and Carapaz. 2 minutes, ouch, to McNulty and Yermakov. Almost a minute to Safanov. F me. McNulty into the race lead. We are 45 seconds behind. We're still a minute clear of Yermakov. Hamilton at 2:20. Paulus at 3. Carapaz at 3:10. Uman at 7.5. So those guys are still well behind. The top 6 are still in contention for this race. Oh, excuse me. McNulty, certainly not the worst time trialist, but a 73 is not going to do much. So at this point, we still have him beat. We've still got one key stage to really worry about. We still have some other stages to worry about. This was a big one, and that really hurt. Yermakov, Hamilton's a bit better on the time trial, but he's definitely not our level. Paulus, Carapaz, right? Overall, we have the strongest resume of anybody in the top 6 for that final stage. But that did not feel good. No, it did not. All in all, we're still fine. I'm not worried about this race at this point. We still have every chance to win. But that was a significant time chunk that we lost, and godlike powers from those 5-6 guys, especially Hamilton. I mean, Hamilton with a 79 mountain, and I was on an 85. Yes, like we were talking about earlier in this stage and recently, right? I know, he has got to be checking all those boxes. Fitness peak, which, hello, when is that going to run out? Because he's been like this from the very start of the race. But fitness peak, objective, right? So he's running +3s. Probably, what do you call it? Recon stages, multiple stages. So he's running +3s, +4s every stinking day. So yeah, he's got an 82, 83 mountain. He's got 80 resistance. He's going to have that 80 time trial too. So he is a threat. But even with that, we were significantly better than that. We were 5 feet behind him. We were 2 bike lengths back, and he was climbing faster than we were. And he was clearly shoulders bobbing side to side. So he was just as out of energy as we were. Of course, he was in the slipstream of Sam Uman, and Uman is a better climber, 81, and Uman was doing all of the pulling at the top. Doesn't have the resistance, but he's an 81 mountain. How was he out climbing me? Because he was just as bad off. I was at 85. Where's the pace difference? How is it that all those guys were out climbing me? It's the difficulty level. That's the answer. All right. It's okay. It's not over. It's very much not over. I mean, we went from a good, strong position to a less strong position. Obviously, it hurt losing that time. But jersey off my shoulders for a little bit, probably a good thing. Now we can put the pressure on McNulty. Now everybody's going to try to attack McNulty, including us. It's not all bad. And it's still very much winnable from here because, like I said, there's only 6 riders left in contention, and we are by far the strongest in the time trial, and that's our advantage, and that's where we can pick up a minute and a half, maybe 2 on everybody. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Also, I just remembered that last stage, started to talk about it, then we got to the end of the stage, and that was it. On Zwift, starting tomorrow, I am debuting a little mini-series on cycling's March Madness. That's the college basketball tournament in the U.S., but instead of college basketball, it's going to be about cycling. It's going to be comparing the current era of riders, the all-time greats of riders, the greatest moments in cycling, and the greatest races of cycling head-to-head in a competition. So be sure to check that out, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.